Hi, I'm Scott Voak with Pacific Sotheby's International Realty, and today we're going to talk about notice of defaults. If you live in Southern California or own investment property in Southern California and are paying attention, you're going to start hearing about a large increase in the number of notice of defaults that are being filed. Now, coupled with the fact that the market is slowing down and we're seeing some price drops, you may think that, hey, this is the bubble. We're going to see it again. But that's actually not the case. These notice of defaults have nothing to do with the falling market. They actually have a lot to do with the rising market we've had over the last 4 to 5 years, and I want to explain why. There's 3 main reasons for these defaults. We're saying first is back 7, 8 years ago when a lot of loan modifications were being done, people modified their first mortgage, but they didn't modify the second. They just stopped paying the second, and the second wasn't going to foreclose because it was underwater. If you'd bought a house for $500,000 using a $400,000 first and a $100,000 second, the value is now worth about $350,000 to $400,000. What's the second going to do? They're not going to come after you because you're just not going to pay it. So those loans were modified. Well, now that property may be worth $550,000, $600,000. You've still got the first at $400,000, but now you think you've got equity. But what you don't realize is that second is still there. And now they're starting to call and say, hey, we'd like our money. And instead of $100,000, the interest is compounded. You haven't been making payments, you got penalties. So now you've got a $150,000 to $200,000 loan. And yes, they have a right to their money because you borrowed it. So that is the first reason we're seeing a lot of notice of defaults. The second reason is a lot of the loan mods that were done at 2%, amortized over 40 years, or 2% interest only. Well, they had a 5 or 7 year term, and the term is over. So now as you're going to reset and go back to try another loan mod, the interest rate is 4 or 5%. And that's making the payment into an area where a lot of people just can't afford it. So they're back in a position where we need help. The banks aren't going to drop the interest rate artificially anymore. They're not getting any help from the government. So a lot of people are seeing payments shoot up and they just can't make them anymore. The third reason is that there was a program run by the state called Save Your House California, or Save Your Home California, and it helped 85,000 people. Basically what happened is if you lost your job, you could apply to this program and they would pay your mortgage. So think of it, there's 85,000 people who got laid off, they got unemployment compensation, and they got their mortgage paid. So talk about a disincentive for working, okay? You have to get a pretty good job to be able to pay your mortgage and your unemployment benefits. But that program's over. There's no more money. It's done. And all these people now have to make their own mortgage payment. So now they're falling behind again if they haven't gotten a job that pays for everything. And that's causing some notice of defaults. So 3 reasons for notice of defaults. None of them have anything to do with the fact the market's fallen. It has everything to do with the fact that the plans that were put in place before worked, but they're over. Or people just forgot that they had a second loan, and now the seconds are stepping up and saying, hey, we want our money. Now, that's especially true when somebody goes to sale. We've seen a couple people sell their house, and when escrow goes to call on the loans, they find that there's an inflated second that the owner forgot about, and they're not able to sell the house. So if you're in that position, be sure you have somebody take a look, make sure your second is there, or if it's gone, so you know what you're working with. Thanks for watching this episode. I'm Scott Voak. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, phone, text, or email. Till next time, make it a great day.